Hello everyone. Today we're looking at one of these. Now you might be forgiven in thinking I've already done a video about a 9800X. You might have checked out the video I did recently about the 9800Xs in my collection. Chiefly these two, the two different British Telecom 9800Xs, the badged as British Telecom. If you haven't checked that video out, today we're looking at one of these. Now, you might be forgiven, like I said, in thinking that this is just another 9800X, and you're probably right. To the untrained eye, this looks pretty much like, well, any one of these. In fact, I mean, I own quite a few 9800Xs. I don't actually know how many I own. I reckon it's around about 20. I've pulled out, what is that, about a dozen here or so. I got so many that I couldn't actually fit them all into the shot. But I got one here and I got one at the other end as well. The main point is just to give you an idea of what they normally look like. So the 9800Xs normally have a dot matrix 8-segment LED display. The 8-segment is quite important because that differentiates it from an Alpha VIP, which I also had featured in another video. Check out the videos about the Alphas. So the 9800Xs always had the 8-segment displays. When it came to the LED versions, there are very rare LCD versions of the 9800X. I do also have a few of them. They are super rare. In fact, they're probably the rarest variant of the 9800X. The 9800Xs are fairly rare. The LCD ones are even rarer. But anyway, today we're not talking about the 9800Xs, which is what this is. We're talking about one of these. Now, like I said, this looks pretty much identical to a 9800X. In fact, it's not, and you'd be forgiven for thinking it was. Even the keypad is pretty much identical, except for the letter layout is slightly different. If you look at the letter display, this has OPR and this has QZ, the 0 key. Other than that, it's pretty much identical, I'd say. Just the shade of red is slightly different. So what's the difference then, you might be thinking? Well, this is a 9800X. This is in fact a Motorola Microtac DPC 950. Now, how do I know that? Well, I do because I got the manual. And I actually bought this with a nice leather case and a whole bunch of accessories with the manual and the phone. So I know this is definitely a 950 just by looking at it, because I've been collecting for quite a few years and there are quite a few subtle differences between this phone and a true 9800X. So I'm going to show you how to tell them apart today. First off though, is the side grips. The side grips on a DPC 950 rather, which is what this is, have little circular knobbles. It does have volume controls. Don't know if you can see that, the up and down there, but they are little circular knobble type rubber things. On a 9800X, you always have the diagonal lines. I've never come across a 9800X which doesn't have the diagonal lines as the rubber. Even the LCD versions, which is what these two are. These are also 9800Xs. Even the LCD versions have the diagonal lines on both sides. So that's the first thing. That's the first hint that you might actually be looking at a DPC 950. The DPC 950 is also, the model number on these is somewhat different. If you open up the back, you'll see, I don't know if y'all can read that, but the model on this is F09 HGD, and the model numbers on 9800X's conventional ones is F09 UTD. There are a couple, obviously, like the LCD versions, which do have some different model numbers. This is actually a F09 UTD as well. but there are ones that are F09 TVD. There is one or two SIP ones that I have that are something else as well. For the majority though, they start with F09 UTD. This one starts with F09 HGD, and that's how you know it's different. So what you'll notice is that on this particular phone, when it powers on, you might have not noticed, but it's only got a 7-digit LED display. You can clearly see that because it only displays 7, and if you punch in 0, the 1 disappears. So on a 9800X, I'm not sure this has a good battery on it. Yes, it does. You'll see that it's got 8 segment display. So that's the fundamental the fundamental difference. Basically, the 9800X had the very first LED type displays like this, segment LEDs displays. This phone actually has the same type of display as an Alpha. And Alphas were released 1991. This phone was released in 1990, so this is 25 years old. Basically, the menu on this is pretty much identical to the 9800X's, believe it or not. I mean, if you go through, you got menu, general, car. The layout is a little different. It's a little bit more funky, I suppose, because it's a little more snappy. I don't know if you saw the video with the 9800X's for the BT versions. The menu was real sluggish. They've obviously snapped the menu up on this, and basically it's got 2 more things. It's got obviously the number 9, which is options, but it does miss number 8, because it goes from 5 right through to 9, so you miss 6, 7 and 8, but the rest of it's all identical. I haven't figured out how to actually put a number in. I do have the manual for it, like I said, so I could actually read up on this and check it out. What's interesting though, I showed you the manual for a 9800X in the other video. For this particular phone, they do actually have a picture of it, and if I can find it, I don't actually know where it is in the booklet, but they do have a picture of it somewhere. Maybe it's out the front, and you will see that the phone in the picture actually has a segment display in the picture. So, oh, here we go. So you count that, and that's segment display, and this is definitely a 950, because obviously the manual says, and this has the 7 segment display, so it is the phone for the manual. So these are about, well, in all my 20 years of collecting, I would probably say this MicroTAC is probably the rarest that I can think of. The Micro Digital Elite or Elite is pretty rare. I did a video about that a couple of months back. It's got a real nice dual line dot matrix green LED display, plus it's got a load of icons at the bottom of the display in LED form. Real nice phone, real slick, quite thin. That is quite a rare phone. 9800s as a general rule are fairly rare because they're quite old. But certainly the DPC 950, which what this is, I've only ever seen 2 of them. In all my time of collecting cell phones, I've only ever seen 2 of these. One of these I obviously bought. The other one went to a collector, a good buddy of mine nowadays. I actually wanted to get the second one, and I fought long and hard to get it. But ultimately, he offered the seller more money, and he obviously got it. So I consider this probably to be the rarest, certainly the rarest MicroTAC that I own. There ain't many MicroTACs where I've only got one of, and this is one of those. There's this one, and obviously the Digital Elite that I only have one. I think pretty much all the other MicroTACs, with the exception of the bone colored, obviously one of these, the light bone colored one, I've only got one of those, and a couple of other limited edition bone colors like white ones like this. There ain't any MicroTAC that I only have one of, except for this one and obviously the other one. So incidentally, if your phone went faulty or you had a problem with it, you could take it to a Motorola service center and they'd give you one of these, which is what I dug out. This is actually a Motorola customer care handset. It's got not for sale, obviously, because it ain't for sale. But and this is what you got. This is a very cut down version of a DPC 500. It's loosely the same sort of form factor, I guess. But the difference being that obviously there's no diagonal lines and there's no volume keys on this. This is pretty much similar to the Bone Light. I showed you on in the other video that I did a couple of months ago. They didn't give you a menu button on this because they didn't want you to mess around with the functions. And I can actually get a number stored in here. The buttons are there, but it just won't do it. So my guess is they disabled that function purely because they didn't want people who they lent this phone to put their numbers in, so that when it came back to the service center, they had to delete all the numbers manually. So, but I got a couple of these. These are quite rare as well. Certainly you don't get many opportunities to buy a customer care Motorola handset like this. So and I gave these out obviously while your phone was out for repair. So that's all I got to say really about the 950. It's a real nice phone. This one is in superb condition. I gotta say, I was real lucky to get this. So if you do come across one, let me know, because I want another one. Because these are real rare. I do have, you know, 9800Xs with LCDs displays, and these are real rare as well. But I got a few of these. You see, even these are real rare. You know, the LCD versions of the 9800Xs, these are quite rare. These are, you know, these were real rare, you know, back in the day. But I got a few of these. I don't got a few of these. I don't got a few of these DPC 950s. So worth thinking about anyway. If you're a hardcore collector like me, you know, you need one of these in your collection at least. So thanks for checking this video out. I know it's quite a lengthy video, but there is a lot to talk about when it comes to phones like this. These I don't know how many MicroTACs I own, but it's got to be a couple of hundred at least. And this particular phone, along with the 9800Xs, is kind of the peak of that collection, really, the MicroTAC collection anyway. So thanks for watching, and please like, share and subscribe. Y'all got any questions or anything, drop me a comment. I'm not a professional, but I do have a large collection of cell phones, so y'all got any questions, I'll try my best to answer as best as I can, really. Please subscribe and give me the thumbs up if you like the phone or the video. Thanks for watching.